In our last episode, we went through all the steps necessary to build the signal interceptor with the help of the Minutemen. The signal interceptor is the device we need to get inside the Institute. But there are two other factions that can help us build the signal interceptor. Now that we've fully explored the Minuteman path, it's time to explore the Brotherhood path. After defeating Kellogg, the Brotherhood sailed into the Commonwealth, making quite a show of force. It stands to reason that if we go track down this airship, we can talk to the Brotherhood's top brass and tell them about the signal interceptor. If we didn't meet Paladin Dance at the Cambridge police station, upon the arrival of the Prydwen, we start the quest Revelry, and we can head to the Boston airport to find this Brotherhood. But we can't get very far before we are stopped by a Brotherhood soldier.
This area is off limits to civilians. I order you to stand down and tell me what you're doing here immediately.
I'm just looking for supplies.
This is a military installation. We don't just give away supplies to civilians.
I prefer to keep my business to myself.
If you refuse to cooperate, I have strict shoot-to-kill orders. You sure you want to head down that path?
I was hoping to track down the owners of that huge airship.
Well, you found us. And since this is a military installation, this is the closest you're going to get to her.
On whose authority?
By the authority of Elder Arthur Maxson, Supreme Commander of the Brotherhood of Steel. Now I'll repeat my question. What are you doing here?
Who are the Brotherhood of Steel?
Our order seeks to understand the nature of technology, its power, its meaning to us as humans, and we fight to secure that power from those who would abuse it.
How did mankind abuse technology?
Before the Great War, science and technology became more of a burden than a benefit. The atom bomb, bioengineered plagues, and FEV are clear examples of the horrors that technological advancement had wrought. We're here to make sure that never happens again.
This is just a fancy way of saying that you're looting everything you can get your hands on.
Looting implies that we're attempting to benefit ourselves. That couldn't be further from the truth.
So you steal technology and keep it for yourselves.
You're implying that we do this to benefit ourselves? I can assure you, our motivation is quite the opposite.
Your cause seems noble.
I'm pleased that you agree. There are very few outside the Brotherhood who appreciate the gravity of the situation we're facing as a species. Look, if any of our ideals remotely interest you, we're always looking to add a few more brothers and sisters to our ranks.
I can see coming here was a mistake.
You got that right. Now, why don't you turn around and head back to whatever scrapyard you call home?
Well then, maybe I'll have to join up.
Well, if you made it this deep into the Commonwealth, then you obviously know how to handle yourself.
I understand. I'm ex-military myself.
Really? Well then, you might just be in luck. With your experience, you might actually fit in with the Brotherhood. We're always looking to add a few more brothers and sisters to our ranks, if you think you have what it takes.
Will it get me aboard that airship?
If you live long enough to make the rank of knight, you'll have full access.
I know I have what it takes.
Then prove it to us.
I'm not interested.
You're not? That's too bad. Tell you what, if you ever change your mind, head over to the Cambridge police station and look for Paladin Dance.
Absolutely. I'm in.
Well, all right. Glad to have you aboard. Head over to the Cambridge police station and look for Paladin Dance. He's in charge of our new recruits, and I'm certain he'll be glad to have an extra gun on his team. Ad Victoriam, civilian. And good luck.
But we can't get up there from here. Not only do we have to be a member of the Brotherhood of Steel to board the airship, but we have to be a knight. Well, how long is that going to take? They don't shoot at us if we walk through the gate, but we can't get up there unless we ride a vertibird, and there's no vertibird on the landing pad. So even if we never saw Paladin Dance earlier in the game, we still have to go all the way back to the Cambridge police station to join the Brotherhood. Things are a little different if we went this route. After saving Paladin Dance from the ghoul attack, we can tell him that we were sent here from the Boston airport.
A Brotherhood soldier pointed me this way. I might be interested in joining up.
Interested in recruitment, huh? Well, let me ask you a few questions.
The conversation then goes much the same way it did last time. The only major difference is that they now need the deep-range transmitter to reach the Prydwen at the Boston airport.
I've been trying to send a distress call to our vessel at Boston International Airport, but the signal's too weak to reach them.
And so we still need to help Paladin Dance get the deep-range transmitter from ArcJet Systems. Now, When we last left Paladin Dance, after getting the deep-range transmitter from ArcJet, he invited us to join the Brotherhood of Steel. And at the time, we said we weren't quite ready to give him an answer.
I don't know.
There's a lot to take into consideration.
It's a big decision, so I understand your hesitation. If you decide you want to become one of us, you know where we are. Good luck.
But now that we need the Brotherhood's help to build the signal interceptor, we can head back to the Cambridge police station to see if his offer still stands. And upon arrival, we see that it has changed.
Look at these burn marks. You must have spent a whole case of ammo holding this site.
Suppose that means we missed all the fun. No one's gonna move on this place now that the Prydwen's in town.
We find more Brotherhood knights outside guarding it.
Paladin Dance is waiting for you inside, recruit.
And it looks like it's been fortified. Heading inside, Paladin Dance tells Halen and Reese what went down at ArcJet.
Paladin Dance. Glad to see you alive and well, sir.
Are we in luck, sir?
Mission accomplished. We have the transmitter.
Finally, some good news for a change. Nice work, sir.
I didn't do it alone.
If we come back before the Prydwen arrives,
Halen, Reese, it's time to welcome our newest recruit to the recon team.
but if we come back after the Prydwen arrives,
Halen, Reese, it's time to welcome our newest recruit to the Brotherhood. He shows a lot of promise, and with the proper guidance, I think he has the potential of becoming one of the best.
When do I get to head up to the Prydwen?
Paladin Dance will decide when you're allowed up there. Until then, I'm afraid you're stuck with us.
Recon, eh? So, what are we looking for?
Don't worry about it. Talk to Reese and I after we're done here, and we'll explain everything.
I'm only in it for the spiffy uniforms.
Oh yeah? And here I thought you joined up for a sense of purpose and meaning.
Recruit? After all I did to help, I was expecting more.
Hey, consider yourself lucky. It took me more than a month of training before they let me run my first mission.
Thanks. I promise not to let you down.
You don't have to prove anything else to me. Getting that transmitter was enough.
So you decided to stay, huh? I expected you to take your payment and run.
Are you upset that I'm staying?
Maybe. Got enough trouble stomping muties and ferals. I don't need something else to worry about.
Let's just hug this out and get it over with. What do you say?
You can play it however you want, tough guy. It's gonna take a lot more than completing one mission to impress me.
I don't have to prove anything to you.
Yeah, you do. You need to prove that you aren't gonna put a round in my back the minute I turn around.
I got tired of wandering alone.
Too bad. I was getting used to the thought of you leaving.
Reese, that's enough. Like it or not, you're going to have to learn to work together. And you need to understand what it means to be a part of the Brotherhood. We're not soldiers of fortune. We're an army, and we've dedicated our lives to uphold a strict code of ethics. If you intend to stay within our ranks, you need to obey our tenets without question.
Are you gonna teach me this code of ethics?
If you were paying attention in ArcJet, you should have learned some of it already. The rest will become apparent as you spend time with your fellow soldiers.
Understood.
Outstanding. Since I know you're eager to get started, I'll get right to the point.
I was never good at following the rules.
If you intend to stay with us, I expect you to take my advice seriously.
if we're playing Nora and we don't have military experience, we can say,
That won't be a problem.
Perfect.
but if we're playing Nate and we do have military experience, we can say,
Don't worry. I've spent time in the military.
Perfect. Then there's no need to give you a long lecture. So I'll get right to the point. I only ask for two things from anyone under my command: honesty and respect. You fall in line, you stay in line. I give you an order, and you follow it. It's as simple as that. Now, before I release you to Halen and Reese for your assignments, there's one last order of business. From this moment forward, I'm granting you the rank of Initiate. This is only a training rank. I'm not permitted to grant ranks any higher than that.
Why can't you promote me beyond Initiate?
Only an Elder can promote you beyond Initiate. After we get the transmitter up and running, I'll call in and see what I can do.
Fair enough.
Outstanding, soldier.
I hate being the lowest rung on the totem pole.
Everyone starts out as an Initiate. It's not meant as a sign of disrespect towards your abilities.
Thank you.
Thanks aren't necessary. Just continue excelling at your duties, soldier.
Ad Victoriam, Initiate.
He doesn't even know what that means, Halen.
Ad Victoriam means to victory. In our eyes, defeat is unacceptable, because we're fighting for the future of mankind. Our rallying cry is more powerful than any weapon you could ever carry. Remember that. Now, I need you to report to Halen or Reese for your next assignment. Dismissed, soldier.
At this point, we could try to talk with Paladin Dance about the airship arriving, but first let's find out what Halen and Reese need from us. Turning to Scribe Halen.
Scribe,
Reese still giving you the cold shoulder?
why does he hate me?
He doesn't hate you.
I can handle it.
If you could, you'd be the first.
I give up trying to get along with that guy.
Don't take it personally. It's not you. It's him.
I wish we can see eye to eye.
Reese only sees one thing. Reese bleeds Brotherhood. It's all he cares about. It's his family. It's his whole life. If anything else comes into the picture and gets in the way, he shoves it aside.
Is there something between the two of you?
That's none of your business.
But if we pass the charisma check,
When I first joined up, Reese is the one who sponsored me. He took me under his wing, showed me the ropes. I thought there was a little more between us, so I asked him if he cared about me that way. He told me the Brotherhood of Steel was all that he cared about, and there was no room for anything else in his life. We never spoke about it again.
Suits me fine.
You don't sound so sure. Just give Reese some time. He'll come around eventually.
I don't care. He needs to keep out of my way.
I hope that isn't a threat. I'm Brotherhood, and I swore an oath to stand by my brothers and sisters. If I even suspect for 1 second you intend to bring harm to my squad, I'll put you on the ground.
I'll just stay out of his way for now.
That would be best. Give him time. He'll come around. So, are you ready to take on your first assignment?
What exactly does the scribe do for the Brotherhood?
We do everything that the pilots and the soldiers need to keep all of their operations running. All the scientific research, the repairs, the tactical planning, you name it. We do all of the technical work. Of course, I'm a field scribe, so I'm boots on the ground with the soldiers, but I kinda like pulling the trigger every once in a while. Anyway, I won't bore you with any more of the details. You ready to head out on your assignment?
I'm not sure.
Don't worry. I wouldn't send you after anything I didn't think you could handle. We just have a lot of work to do out here. And you're a welcome set of extra hands. Take whatever time you need to prepare yourself. And let me know when you're ready to go.
No, I need more time.
That's all right? I understand. Grab whatever you need and check back with me when you're ready.
Ready?
Great. Let me explain what I need you to do. One of the Brotherhood's most important duties is the recovery and preservation of technology that was lost when the bombs fell. I have a list of locations that contain artifacts we need you to recover in order to have them cataloged and studied by our scribes. Here, this should cover all the information you'll need to find your first artifact. Good luck, and be careful.
with that we get the quest Quartermastery. This is a radiant quest. We can do it over and over again. The destination changes each time, and so does the technology we have to find. Sometimes it's a reflex capacitor, sometimes it's a haptic drive, but it's essentially the same quest. If we retrieve the technology, we can bring it back to the Cambridge police station and turn it back into Halen.
You got that tech yet?
What tech?
That would be the tech I asked you to recover so we can study it. Did you get it?
I'll get back to you.
Not out to impress, I see. Well, check back in once you've got it.
Not yet.
What are you waiting for? No time like the present.
Here it is.
Great. I'll get this documented and ready to send off. I'll always want more tech, so believe me, I'll never run short of missions. Let me know if you're anxious to get back out there.
Affirmative.
Good. You've got the area on your map, so move it.
Whereupon she gives us the same quest. It's a great way to earn experience and explore more of the Commonwealth, but it doesn't really advance the plot all that much. Next, we can talk to Knight Reeves.
Excuse me.
All right, out with it. What's your game?
Game? What do you mean?
I can usually size people up at a glance, but you're different. And it's bugging the heck out of me.
I don't have time for this.
Well, you better make time if you intend to stay on board. See? That's what I don't get about you.
Give me a break. I can't win with you.
Win? This isn't a contest. I'm just trying to understand what you're doing here.
I hope I haven't offended you again.
Offended? Hardly. I'm just trying to figure you out. You're not the military type. You're a loner. So I can't figure out why you're sticking around. You got what you wanted, so why don't you hit the road?
What can I say that will make you trust me?
There's nothing you can say. Trust is earned through action. Nothing more, nothing less.
That's a good question. I guess... I don't know.
Then you need to choose a side. You're either with the Brotherhood, or you're against it.
I just want to be left alone.
That's just it. You don't get to be alone. The Brotherhood is all about the team. There are no individuals, no heroes. The sooner you realize that, the sooner I might start trusting you.
The Brotherhood might be the best chance I'll ever have to find my son.
Well, as far as reasons go, that's a pretty good one. Look, I'm gonna cut you some slack because Dance trusts you. But if you step out of line and put any of my brothers or sisters in danger, I'll make sure you regret it. So, ready for your assignment, hero?
I'm not sure.
Hey, we all have to pull our own weight around here. If that means you need to do your part by getting your hands dirty, then you better learn to live with it. Now get yourself together and let me know when you're ready to go.
No, I need more time.
Why am I not surprised? Get yourself together and report back to me on the double, soldier.
Ready.
Then listen up. Like it or not, one of our most important duties is to keep the Commonwealth clear of the trash. I'm talking about mutants, ghouls, synths. The abominations the damn eggheads caused when they started playing with their toys. This op is simple. I'm gonna send you to a target, and you're gonna terminate everything that calls it home. All the details you need are right here. Don't come back until the job's done.
And he gives us the quest, Cleansing the Commonwealth. It is a Radiant quest, just like Quartermastery. The destinations are different each time, but the quest itself is essentially the same. Go to X location, kill X enemy, and come back. Once done, we can head back to Night Reese to turn in the quest.
You better have some good news.
Am I getting rewarded for this?
Dance has authorized me to reimburse you.
I think I got everything.
A slack answer like that may fly on your own, but you're with the Brotherhood now. Come back when you know that place is clear.
You really have to ask?
You really want to try my patience?
Affirmative.
Keep it up, and I may start believing you got some real guts. Commonwealth is a big place in need of some serious exterminating. Whenever you're ready for another op, you know where to find me.
I'm ready.
Roger that. Here's the latest target area. I don't want to see your face until that place is clear.
Whereupon he gives us the quest again. Like with Quartermastery, we can rinse and repeat to rack up some experience and money. Now we can do either of those quests at any point after we join the Brotherhood, and nothing else changes inside the police station until we come back after we complete reunions, after the airship arrives at the Commonwealth.
Can't believe Maxson brought the Prydwen here. Those energy readings we picked up must have been more important than I thought.
Yeah, whatever it was really stirred up a hornet's nest. Looks like it's gonna be a full-scale war.
Which means we better prep this place in case someone smarter than a pack of ferals decides we're a target.
Amen to that.
At this point, we can talk with Dance again, and we learn that he's going to recommend that we get promoted from Initiate tonight.
There's one last order of business I wanted to get out of the way. I'm going to recommend you to be awarded the rank of Knight. Now, nothing's official until you speak to Elder Maxson, but I wanted you to be the first to know.
Does this mean I'm one of you now?
As far as I'm concerned, yes. Now, I've received orders that we're both to report to the Prydwen. However, if you want to run a few ops for Scribe Halen or Night Reese first, they could certainly use your assistance. I'll leave the choice up to you. Let me know when you're ready to mount up.
And if we are done running ops for Reese and Halen, we can check back in with Dance.
Paladin Dance.
Are you ready to head up to the ship?
Why did the Brotherhood send it here in the first place?
I'm not sure, but I think it might have something to do with the data on the Commonwealth my team gathered before it arrived.
Yeah, can't wait to get up there.
I felt the same way the first time I saw it, too.
Not yet.
Understood. Let me know when you're ready to depart.
Of course I am. I've never seen anything so impressive.
Takes your breath away, doesn't it? We call our ship the Prydwen. She's loaded with enough troops and supplies to mount a major offensive. If she's here, Elder Maxson's here. And that means we're going to war.
Who's Elder Maxson?
Maxson is the commander of this division of the Brotherhood of Steel. He's the model of what every Brotherhood soldier hopes to become. If we're going to war, I can promise you that he'll be leading the charge.
I'm guessing that diplomacy isn't on Elder Maxson's mind.
With a show of force that large, I fear for the innocent of the Commonwealth.
What's the matter? Don't like kicking in the door? Don't worry. You'll fall in line with our tactics sooner or later.
After rolling that thing in, you've certainly started a war.
Yes, or at least sending a very strong message. One for the books, as they say.
If history's proven anything, it's that an overwhelming show of force has a chance of halting a conflict before it begins. Besides, why should we hold back when we have something like that at our disposal?
Gonna be a quick war with that thing on our side.
Yes, and hopefully through presence alone.
That's the plan. If history's proven anything, it's that an overwhelming show of force has a chance of halting a conflict before it begins. That being said, you're about to get to know the Prydwen up close and personal. I've received orders that we're both to report to her immediately. Follow me up to the roof of the police station. We're going for a little ride.
With that, he turns around and runs up some stairs. He takes us to the rooftop of the Cambridge police station. And this time, when we appear on the roof, we find that a vertibird has landed on the helicopter landing pad. Paladin Dance has boarded it, and he's waiting for us to hop on in. If we do, Codsworth gets excited.
Ah, very good. We'll take to the air.
That minigun in front of you is loaded and ready to fire. If you spot anything hostile during the flight, I suggest you put it to good use. Make sure you properly identify your targets before you start shooting. We don't want to have any mishaps and fire on the locals.
And with that, we fly out of Cambridge and across the water towards Boston. Eventually, we fly over the ruins of the Commonwealth Institute of Technology.
The Commonwealth looks different from up here, doesn't it? It never ceases to amaze me how drastically your perception of the battlefield changes from the air. We're gonna need that edge when we take on the Institute. They've already proven that they're technologically superior, which means there's no telling what types of weapons they'll have in their arsenal. Hopefully, our air superiority and tactical know-how will make the difference. And now all we have to do is find them. And I'm betting that Elder Maxson will have a plan already in place by the time we arrive.
As we cross the Charles River, raiders and super mutants from below start to take potshots at us, and we can fire back with the minigun.
I wish everyone down there believed in our cause, but they've been blinded by rumors and misinformation. They don't realize that the Brotherhood of Steel is the Commonwealth's last hope for survival. Every man, woman, and child below is in mortal danger. If we fail, it's only a matter of time before the enemy overwhelms the population. Cleansing the Commonwealth is our duty, and I will gladly spill my own blood if it ensures our victory.
We pass by Bunker Hill, on our way south towards the ruins of the Boston airport.
We're on final approach to the airport. The Prydwen should be coming into view just ahead. He'll be meeting Lancer Captain Kells on the flight deck. Just stick close to me and answer all of his questions.
With that, we turn southeast. We fly over the ruins of an old harbor. The ground is covered in rusting warehouses and shacks, still bedecked with shipping canisters. At length, we discover the Boston airport. We see the airship anchored to the flight control tower, and we begin to fly under it.
All right, soldier. This is the moment when everything changes. I hope you're ready.
The vertibird flies underneath the airship, and we begin the docking procedure. Paladin Dance jumps out, and we discover the Prydwen. He marches across the flight deck to talk with the man waiting for us, Lancer Captain Kells.
Permission to come aboard, sir?
Permission granted. And welcome back, Paladin. Allow me to be the first to congratulate you on a successful mission. And is this our new recruit?
Yes, sir. I feel promoted him to initiate, and I'd like to sponsor his entry into our rankings personally.
Yes, we've read your reports. You'll be pleased to know that Elder Maxson's approved your request to place the recruit in your charge.
Thank you, sir. And my current orders?
You are to remain on the Prydwen and await further instructions.
Very good, sir. Ad Victoriam, Captain.
Ad Victoriam, Paladin. So, you're the one Paladin Dance has taken under his wing. You don't look much like a soldier to me.
And what's a soldier supposed to look like?
A soldier is supposed to be an efficient killing machine, not a relic from the past playing catch-up with the rest of the world. If Dance hadn't stepped in and vouched for you, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Accepting outsiders like yourself has proven disastrous in the past.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Sorry? A little soft around the edges, aren't you? If you want to earn your place among the best, you need to toughen up.
I think I've already proven that you're wrong.
A Brotherhood soldier earns merit by respecting the ideals created by our Elder, not by simply killing the enemy and following orders.
Looks can be deceiving.
Which is precisely why I personally insist on scrutinizing every recruit who boards this vessel. I've read Paladin Dance's reports. He seems to think you'll make a fine addition to the Brotherhood. You might expect an endorsement like that to grant you a great deal of latitude with us. But let me make one thing clear. The Brotherhood of Steel has traveled to the Commonwealth with a specific goal in mind. As the captain of this vessel, I won't allow anyone to jeopardize our mission, no matter how valuable they think they are. Understood?
I don't know.
If you're planning to stay with the Brotherhood, I need you 100% committed at all times. Nothing less will do.
It's not like I have a choice.
If you want to remain with us, then you're right. You don't.
What exactly is your mission here?
I'm not at liberty to say. Elder Maxson will be addressing the crew shortly, and I'm certain all of your questions will be answered. Now, was there anything else, or was everything I said understood?
Not even a hint? Come on. I deserve it.
No. You'll just have to wait until Elder Maxson addresses the crew.
But if we pass the charisma check...
Look, all I can tell you is that we're here directly in response to the data that Dance's recon team provided us. Beyond that, you'll just have to wait until Elder Maxson addresses the crew. Now dispense with the questions. It's time to get to work. Understood?
Absolutely.
Good. That's all for now, soldier. Your orders are to proceed to the command deck for the address, after which Elder Maxson wishes to have a word with you. If you have any questions, ask me now. Otherwise, you're dismissed.
Can you tell me anything about Elder Maxson?
Elder Maxson is the supreme commander of the Brotherhood. Without his tenacity and his vision, we'd still be a small group of complacent stragglers, occupying the Citadel in the capital wasteland. In a mere decade, he's grown the Brotherhood of Steel into a major military force. He's an inspiration to us all. Is there anything else?
Where can I get power armor?
Only knights are allowed to wear Brotherhood power armor. And you're no knight. Not yet. Until Elder Maxson grants you that title, you'll have to make do with what you've got. Anything else?
What are my orders?
Your orders are to proceed to Elder Maxson's address, after which he wishes to speak with you. Anything else?
I don't have any questions.
Then I suggest you head over to the command deck immediately. Dismissed, Initiate.
This airship is huge. We'll take time to better explore it later, but outside on the flight deck, we find an elevated section with a few containers, one ammo canister, some ammunition and weapons, but we don't find much else here. We need to go listen to Maxson's address. To do that, we climb up the stairs.
Welcome aboard. Elder Maxson is holding his address inside the command deck.
And open the door to the Prydwen command deck. We arrive at the top of a staircase. There's a ladder in front of us, and on the other side of the ladder, we find Arthur Maxson.
Brothers and sisters, the road behind has been long and fraught with difficulty. Each and every one of you has surpassed my expectations by rapidly facilitating our arrival in the Commonwealth. You have accomplished this amazing feat without a hint of purpose or direction, and most impressively, without question. Now that the ship is in position, it is time to reveal our purpose. Beneath the Commonwealth, there is a cancer, known as the Institute. A malignant growth that needs to be cut before it infects the surface. They are experimenting with dangerous technologies that could prove to be the world's undoing for the second time in recent history. The Institute scientists have created a weapon that transcends the destructive nature of the atom bomb. They call their creation the Synth, a robotic abomination of technology that is free-thinking and masquerades as a human being. This notion that a machine could be granted free will is not only offensive, but horribly dangerous. And like the atom, if it isn't harnessed properly, it has the potential of rendering us extinct as a species. I am not prepared to allow the Institute to continue this line of experimentation. Therefore, the Institute and their synths are considered enemies of the Brotherhood of Steel, and should be dealt with swiftly and mercilessly. This campaign will be costly, and many lives will be lost. But in the end, we will be saving humankind from its worst enemy, itself. Ad Victoriam!
Ad Victoriam!
Ad Victoriam!
At last, the pieces come together. Kells told us that Maxson was here because of something in Paladin Dance's report. And we read his report when we explored his terminal at the Cambridge police station. In his October 22nd, 2287 log, we saw that Scribe Halen had picked up unusual energy readings. She described them as highly sporadic only appearing for very short amounts of time and in very specific locations. We had no idea what this was at the time, but now we do. The Institute's relay, their teleportation, were these very same signals that Halen picked up. Maxson and the Brotherhood in the Capital Wasteland must have pieced this together and tied it back to the Institute after they received Dance's report when we got the deep-range transmitter from ArcJet. There's also a bit of a continuity error in this sequence. In the next terminal entry, we learn that Halen couldn't actually send Scabbard this report without the deep-range transmitter. So theoretically, if we never complete the ArcJet quest, they'll never get this report and never have a reason to hop aboard the Prydwen and come here to the Capital Wasteland. But as it turns out, even if we never meet Paladin Dance at the Cambridge police station, and hence never get the deep-range transmitter from ArcJet, the Prydwen still arrives, which shouldn't be possible since they never got the report about the strange energy readings. But that's a small quibble, since most of us do complete this quest long before we ever complete reunions. At any rate, the assembly disperses, and Maxson turns his back to us, but we know that he's waiting for us. And as we approach him...
I care about them, you know. The people of the Commonwealth.
Care about them? I thought we were preparing for war.
The Brotherhood is here to prevent a war, by starting one of our own. The difference is, our war won't reduce civilization to ashes.
If you say so.
I can understand your indecisiveness. Turning your weapons on the very same people that you're trying to save can be a bitter pill to swallow.
If you cared about them, you'd leave them to their own devices.
Leaving them to their own devices is what reduced this metropolis to ruins in the first place. I'm a bit surprised that you don't realize that by now.
I can see that. They're playing with fire and we need to save them.
Exactly. I just hope we're here in time. I refuse to allow the mistakes of the past to be repeated.
What do you want from me?
I want you to start taking responsibility for this planet. To start making a difference. And from what I've read in Paladin Dance's reports, you've already begun that journey.
I hope this isn't another Brotherhood morals lecture.
Not at all. In fact, it's clear from Paladin Dance's report that you understand our core values. He feels you've become quite an asset to us.
You're not going to convince me you're right.
Yet despite that, Paladin Dance still feels you'd be an asset to the Brotherhood.
Don't worry. I'm convinced.
Paladin Dance's reports were quite clear regarding your feelings toward the Brotherhood. And he concludes that you'd be an asset to us. Seeing as he's one of my most respected field officers, you couldn't get a better recommendation. Therefore, from this moment forward, I'm granting you the rank of Knight. And, befitting your title, we're granting you a suit of power armor to protect you on the field of battle. Wear it with pride.
Only a knight? Why not a paladin like Dance?
The Brotherhood maintains a strict hierarchy, organized by rank. Paladin is several ranks above Knight, and it took Dance many years to achieve that goal. With your continued loyalty to the Brotherhood, I'm certain you can attain the same.
A knight? What is this, the Dark Ages?
Judging from the state of the world, it wouldn't be a stretch to say we're living in that era again.
I don't care about ranks.
Whether you like it or not, you're going to have to get used to it.
I'll do my best to live up to it.
I'm certain that you will. In any event, once you're finished becoming familiar with the Prydwen and my staff, report to the flight deck for your new orders. Welcome aboard the Prydwen, soldier. Make us proud.
At last we have met Maxson, the leader of the Brotherhood of Steel. Perhaps now we can talk with him about helping us build a signal interceptor.
Elder Maxson, I have a set of plans to build a signal interceptor to get me inside the Institute.
An intriguing proposal that I'll have to seriously consider. However, before I allow any of my soldiers to breach the Institute, careful preparations need to be made. In the meantime, I need you to follow my orders and remain patient.
But what about what you said during your speech? This could be a way to strike at the heart of the Institute.
I meant every word that I just said. But I need you to view this from my perspective.
Why wait when we have a way inside right now?
I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I need you to view this from my perspective.
This doesn't make sense. I thought you were eager to take the fight to the Institute.
I am. But I need you to view this from my perspective.
I understand, Elder.
I know you're disappointed, but I need you to view this from my perspective. I'm not willing to risk the lives of my soldiers based solely on a set of crudely drawn plans. Give us time to validate the information you've discovered. Then when the time is right, I promise you, I'll do everything in my power to construct that device. You're dismissed, Knight.
He's not ready to work with us yet. Maybe we haven't proven ourselves. Turning around, we can loot a few containers on this level, and then take a staircase down to loot a few more containers before taking the staircase to the very bottom to explore flight control. Here's where we find Lancer Captain Kells.
I believe you're needed elsewhere right now. We can talk later.
They can't talk with us right now, so after looting a few more containers, we can head back up the stairs and then open a nearby door to the Prydwen foredeck. This takes us outside to the foredeck. It's kind of small. We find a couple of containers out here, but a great view of the Boston airport. When done exploring, we can head back inside to the command deck, head up the stairs, and then take the ladder to the Prydwen main deck. We find the main deck filled with Brotherhood soldiers.
Status report. Green across the board, sir. Nothing new.
Good. Carry on, Knight.
Nearby is a room, but it requires a key. Next to this is Arthur Maxson's room. There is a terminal in here, and next to this is Paladin Dance's room. Both of these rooms have terminals, but we'll take time to read the terminals aboard the Prydwen a bit later. For now, we need to find Paladin Dance. And we find him chatting with some soldiers in the galley.
How did it look out there?
We've got a lot of work ahead of us, brother.
Paladin.
There you are. How did it go with Elder Maxson?
Maxson seems so young compared to everyone else. You're okay with that?
Don't let his age fool you. Maxson's a brilliant tactician, a formidable warrior, and possesses an idealistic vision for the future of the Brotherhood. I'd follow him anywhere, without question.
Why are you so confident in his abilities?
A decade ago, the Brotherhood had almost gone completely astray. The Elder before Maxson sent us down a path that was leading nowhere. He was more concerned about charity than the preservation of technology. But when Maxson took over, he single-handedly reprioritized the Brotherhood from the ground up and put us back on the path to glory. This ship and its crew are a testament to his leadership.
He's a very dedicated man. It sounds like he stands behind everything he's saying.
Of course he does. How could he afford not to?
He sounds pretty delusional to me. You don't actually buy everything he's saying, do you?
You shouldn't judge Maxson on his words alone. His actions prove his sincerity.
I was very impressed with him. He seems to know what's best for everyone.
Exactly. Without his determination, we'd be lost. I just hope you appreciate how much of a chance I'm taking bringing you into the fold this quickly. Not to put too fine a point on it, but if you screw up, we go down together.
So what's all this about you being my sponsor?
Elder Maxson is understandably particular when it comes to new recruits. He believes in order to keep the Brotherhood strong, we have to bond as brothers. As your sponsor, it's my duty to travel with you throughout the Commonwealth to ensure that our ideals are being observed. That's why I'm so concerned about your performance in the field.
Don't worry. I'll be careful.
Good. Because we've got a lot of work ahead of us, and I don't want anything slowing us down.
I'm not comfortable being watched so closely.
Well, you better get used to it. If you want to remain a part of the Brotherhood of Steel, you're going to have to adjust to the military way of life.
I won't let you down, Dance. I promise.
Good. Now, I know you're eager to hop into a suit of power armor and take the fight to the Institute. But first things first. In order to be an effective part of the team, you need to learn your way around this ship and get to know its crew. Since I've been officially assigned to you as your sponsor, I'd recommend taking me along with you.
Do you need to come with me now?
It might help if I tagged along with you. On the other hand, you might want to make your first impression without a paladin standing over your shoulder. It's up to you.
I'll go it alone for now, and come find you when I'm ready.
Suit yourself. I'll be in the mess hall if you need me.
You can come with me or wait until I'm done. It's up to you.
In that case, I prefer to tag along. If you change your mind, just let me know.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Outstanding.
With that, we complete Shadow of Steel, and we begin the quest, Tour of Duty. We've got to talk to some of the officers aboard the Prydwen. It doesn't matter if we bring Dance with us, or Codsworth, or any of our other companions. They don't have anything to say regarding any of the officers we're about to meet.
There. Try it now.
Nothing. I was supposed to report 10 minutes ago. If you can't fix it...
I can fix it. You're the one who decided to kick your way through a Mirelurk. Got it.
There it is.
Here, surrounded by all of this beautiful power armor, we find Proctor Ingram.
So, you're the new recruit I heard about. Not what I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
The last batch of recruits we took on were wastelanders. Dirty, beaten up, looking for a handout. They were desperate and looking for an easy out. You look like you're here for a reason.
I can handle myself.
Hey, if Paladin Dance vouched for you, that's good enough for me. You just don't look like one of the usual wastelanders we pick up.
I don't care. I didn't join up to impress everyone.
Alright, easy night. I didn't mean anything by it. Our usual recruits tend to be wastelanders, and you don't look like one of them.
Sounds like you're disappointed.
Not disappointed, just surprised. You don't look like one of the usual wastelanders we pick up. Anyway, since you came down here to meet me, we may as well get it over with. My name's Ingram, and this lovely little grease pit is where you'll usually find me. If your power armor's too tight in the crotch, the Prydwen's about to crash into the ground, or a robot's gone haywire, you come see me.
You should add teaching charm school lessons to the list.
Sorry to disappoint you, but when you're as busy as I am, there isn't much time for bowing and curtsying.
While you're at it, my car is making this weird grinding noise when I back it out of the driveway.
You're gonna have to take a number.
Sounds like you have a pretty full plate.
Plate? Hell, I have a whole table's worth of duties around here.
Is this where I get my power armor?
Ha! That's always the first question from the new guys. There isn't a day that goes by on this tub without 5 or 6 things breaking down. And since I'm stuck in this rig, I'm not quite as spry as I used to be. The work tends to pile up.
I understand.
Good.
I hardly noticed.
Can't tell if you're patronizing me or trying to be polite. How about I just forget you mentioned it?
Actually, you seem to be getting around really well.
I suppose it's better than the alternative.
You feel like telling me how you ended up that way?
That's a little personal, don't you think?
All right, forget that I asked.
Appreciate it.
We find 3 difficult charisma checks to get her to tell us the story. They're all equally difficult, and they all lead to the exact same conversation. If we fail them...
Would it help if I promised not to tell anyone else? Come on. If we're going to be working as a team, we should get to know each other better. Most people in your condition would have given up. I just wanted to hear your story.
I'm not really looking for sympathy. And honestly, I don't know you that well. Maybe some other time.
But if we pass the charisma checks...
Okay. Get you off my back about it. I guess I can't argue with that. Sure, what the hell. I was fighting with the Brotherhood in the capital wasteland. Worked at a staging area for the power armor troops. Our position was along a ridge line overlooking the battlefield. I'd say it was a 100-foot drop, give or take.
You weren't aboard the Prydwen?
The Prydwen wasn't under Maxson's command at the time. It wasn't even in the capital wasteland. If she'd had been there, the battle wouldn't have been such a challenge.
That's quite a drop.
The enemy had no way of getting to us up there. It was a perfect liftoff point for the vertibirds.
Who were you fighting?
Super mutants. The damn things had wrangled a couple of behemoths and were marching on our main base of operations.
Not exactly the front line.
I've served my time in the trenches. I don't need to prove anything to you. To make a long story short, the ridge I was standing on took a hit from a nuke. Sheared most of the cliff right off, and caused the platform I was standing on to tumble over the side. If I hadn't been test piloting one of the power armor suits at the time, I would have died.
Your power armor helped you survive the fall?
Yeah, it took the brunt of the impact. But I don't know if I'd call it surviving. The suit was trashed after it landed, and I lost both of my legs. Haven't walked since.
Wow. It's a miracle you survived.
Nope, just simple engineering. My power armor absorbed most of the impact. And I wouldn't call having both of your legs crushed surviving.
I'm finding this kind of hard to believe.
Hey, I'm not just spinning some kind of bullshit war story here. I lost the use of both of my legs in that fall. Believe me, I have nothing to prove.
Wow, that's pretty lucky.
Luck had nothing to do with it. It's all about the steel, the servos, and the circuits. Besides, I'd hardly call getting both my legs crushed lucky. Anyway, I'm sure you're here to get your hands on some power armor. There's a pretty decent T-60 suit sitting in Bay 3 that's all yours. The left leg actuator's a bit sticky, but it'll keep the creeps off of you. Oh, and if you need any work done on it, feel free to use the workshops around here. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to work.
All right, we've met Proctor Ingram, and she told us where we could find our brand new suit of T-60 power armor in Bay 3. And here it is, looking gorgeous. We can hop inside to take it for a spin.
Feels like you can take on the world in there, doesn't it?
But we're not going to battle just yet. Might as well save our fusion core, and so we can hop out to search for the next guy. Next on our list is Proctor Tegan, the ship's quartermaster.
Step forward, Knight. Even though they've locked me in this blasted cage, I promise that I won't bite.
Why are you in there?
I'm glad you asked.
Not really here to chit-chat. I had orders to meet the crew.
Rules, rules, rules. Everyone around here is so obsessed with the damn rules. I hope you're not another one of those by-the-book military types.
You must be in there for a reason. Maybe I'll keep my distance.
I'm only having a bit of fun with you, Knight.
Looks uncomfortable in there.
It's not that bad. Now, this is the stowage depot, and I, as you probably already guessed, am the ship's quartermaster, Proctor Tegan. The powers that be have me locked in here, so I can keep an eye on the Brotherhood's valuables. If you need to stock up on supplies before you head out on a mission, this is the place to buy them.
Wait, buy them? Since when does the military sell equipment to its own soldiers?
Since someone dropped a whole bunch of bombs and blew up every single factory that manufactured weapons and ammunition. Keeping the Brotherhood supplied takes caps, and everyone contributes to the cause.
So if I'm out of caps, I guess I'll just defeat the enemy with my bare hands.
There's plenty of spare ammo and equipment all over the ship. You can help yourself to anything you can find. Everything in here is a bit more specialized and unique.
Buying my own equipment is ridiculous.
Keeping the Brotherhood supplied takes caps, and everyone contributes to the cause. That's Elder Maxson's orders.
That's good to know.
I'm glad you're the agreeable type. When I tell most of the new recruits that they have to buy their own equipment, they give me the stink eye. The good news is by having a constant flow of caps, I'm able to buy whatever you bring me. Yeah, I'm mostly interested in weapons, but I'll take anything useful. Of course, if you're just looking to make a few caps on the side, I might have some extra work for you to do.
What sort of extra work are we talking about?
Oh, no. It's nothing like you're thinking.
As long as I don't end up in the brig.
Don't worry. Last thing I'd want to do is get our newest recruit in trouble.
Caps on the side, huh? Doesn't sound like official military business to me.
Well, it is, and it isn't. It's complicated.
I could use some extra caps.
You need them, and I want you to spend them here. It's a match made in heaven. It just involves a little bit of heavy lifting and interacting with the local farms. And since I'm stuck up here manning this one-man zoo, I need someone to do the legwork for me. After you're done with the meet and greet, we can discuss the details. In the meantime, if you ever need anything else, a gun, a mod, even ammo, you just let me know.
All right, Proctor Tegan, check. Next, we need to turn around to find the ship's medic, Knight Captain Cade.
Glad you finally stopped by, soldier. Are you ready for your medical exam?
What kind of medical exam? I feel fine.
There's nothing to be alarmed about. I just have a few simple questions about your medical history. It's my responsibility to make sure that you don't bring anything up here that could pose a threat to the crew.
As long as it doesn't involve petroleum jelly and rubber gloves, I'm ready.
No. This isn't that sort of examination.
Can it wait?
That's fine. But I can't clear you for active duty until you've completed the exam and I give you a clean bill of health. Let me know when you're ready.
Sure. Go right ahead.
All right. I'm going to ask you a series of medical-related questions, and I'd like you to answer me to the best of your ability. First question. As a child, were you ever exposed to radiation for an extended period of time?
Wouldn't Vault-Tech's screening process have caught this already?
Vault-Tech's screening process? Let me check my notes here.
My father said I used to sit way too close to the television.
The television? Wait a second. Let me check my notes here.
Check your records, Doc. I'm not from around here.
What's that? Let me check my notes.
There wasn't that much radiation around before the bombs fell.
Before the bombs? What? Let me check my notes. You were a vault dweller? You're probably healthier than anyone else aboard. Anyway, sorry I missed that in your records. Just going down the list of questions. I'm sure you understand. Okay, second question. Have you ever had or come in contact with a person confirmed to be carrying a communicable disease?
Have you had problems with the crew catching diseases?
Well, yes, actually. It's not unusual for our recon teams to stumble across contaminated environments or disease-carrying creatures. We don't want a single crewman infecting the entire ship. Anyway, this exam is about you, so... have you had or come in contact with anyone carrying a communicable disease?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Well, you don't appear to be suffering from any long-term ill effects, so I'll assume you haven't.
I hope that you're kidding.
Not at all. I'm quite serious, actually. However, I'll just assume that your answer to that one is a no.
Never been seriously sick in my life.
Good, good. Third question. And please, answer honestly. Have you ever had sexual relations with any species considered non-human?
That happens often enough for you to have a question about it?
You'd be surprised how many wastelanders answer yes to that question. Fortunately, the Brotherhood finds that type of behavior absolutely distasteful. Since you haven't spent too much time in the wasteland, I'll assume your answer is no.
Well, there was this one really ugly girl in college. I mean, I had to get drunk, and it was a dare, and ugh.
That hardly qualifies, so I'll just put no.
No. Never have.
Very well.
Those species aren't my type.
Good. I find the practice highly distasteful myself. Last question. Would you have any problems pulling the trigger on an enemy of the Brotherhood, whether they're human, formerly human, or machine?
That's more of a morals question, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I feel that the mental state of the crew is just as important as the physical. Anyone that hesitates firing in combat due to misguided moral standards certainly isn't Brotherhood material. So what about you? Would you have a problem with it?
I suppose so.
Good enough.
Nope, no problem whatsoever.
Excellent. You'll fit in quite well around here.
If my life's in danger, I'll do whatever it takes to defend myself.
That's an acceptable answer, and the most common. Excellent. I think I've got all the information I need. I see no reason to prevent you from beginning your duties immediately. If you ever need medical assistance, you let me know.
This guy is really lax. Talks about all these diseases, and then if we say, oh, I don't know, he's like, well, I'll assume you don't. And then he asks us if we would have a problem shooting someone on command. If we say, I suppose so, which means I suppose I would have a problem, he's like, good enough. This guy is just phoning it in. After that colorful conversation, we can cross the aisle to find Proctor Quinlan.
Ah, good. You're finally here. Just set the books down anywhere. I'll get to them as soon as I can.
What, not even a thank you?
I hardly need to... Oh my. It appears I've mistaken you for someone else.
Clean your glasses, Pops.
Pops? What does that mean? Oh, wait, I see. That's in reference to my age. Clever. I'll make a note of that.
I think you're confusing me with someone else.
Perhaps I need to rummage through the supply bins for a new pair of glasses.
What are you doing with all these books?
I suppose I could stop working for a moment to address your question.
And in my game, this conversation was glitched. He didn't really say what he was supposed to say, which made the conversation not make much sense. And so, for this conversation, I'll substitute some of his dialogue from the game files to patch up his conversation, so that it makes sense.
My responsibility aboard the Prydwen is to sort through the books discovered by our recovery teams and extract pertinent information from them. It's tedious work, since most of the volumes are a waste of paper. Works of fiction, poetry, you understand.
Which books contain pertinent information?
Technical volumes, repair manuals, design philosophies, medical research. Anything that enhances the Brotherhood's knowledge. That's why I consider everything else a waste of paper.
Whatever suits you.
Expanding the technological knowledge of the Brotherhood is what suits me.
Those books aren't a waste of paper.
If they don't expand the Brotherhood's technological knowledge, they're useless.
Makes sense to get rid of the trash.
Well, I'm pleased you agree. There are other scribes within the Brotherhood that consider fictional material essential. But I refuse to allow them aboard this vessel. Since it's obvious that you aren't who I was expecting, would you mind telling me why you're here?
Should I come back when you're less busy?
Our recent arrival in the Commonwealth has left me with an immense amount of data to compile. None of that's your fault, really. You're obviously here for a reason. What was it again?
I'm asking myself the same thing.
I don't recognize you. Which leads me to the conclusion that you're a new recruit. Specifically, the one that Paladin Dance described in his report.
Just learning my way around the Prydwen.
Learning your way around? Ah, I see. You're the new recruit that Paladin Dance described in his report.
Maxson wanted me to meet the crew, so you were next on my list.
Ah, yes. You must be the new recruit described in Paladin Dance's report. Under normal circumstances, I'd provide you with a proper orientation of my department. However, I'm woefully behind setting up research patrols and getting bombarded with requests for technical documentation. Unfortunately, I'm lacking the personnel needed to get the job done.
What type of technical documentation are you looking for?
The Brotherhood is primarily interested in collecting information that might assist us with our current mission. Medical records, science journals, weapon schematics. If it contains any type of useful data, we need to get our hands on it.
What exactly is a research patrol?
Simply put, we send a small two-man team to scout a location and evaluate its technical and historical relevance. Saves us from sending an entire retrieval team to a worthless location.
If you want my help, just ask already.
I wasn't aware you were interested, Knight.
Maybe I can lend you a hand.
That would be splendid. As you patrol the Commonwealth, keep your eyes open for blueprints, memos, manuals, books, charts. Anything containing useful technical data. I'm authorized to pay you for each bundle of documents that you recover. And if you wish to be assigned to a research patrol, I have plenty of them waiting to be filled. In any event, it was a pleasure to meet you, Knight.
All right, at last we have a purpose for all of those technical documents that we've found all over the Commonwealth. We can bring them back here to turn into Quinlan. And with that, we complete the quest Tour of Duty. And to begin the quest, Show No Mercy. There are more interesting people to discover aboard the Prydwen, not to mention all of the wonderful terminals that really make this ship come alive. But we need to focus. Maybe now that we've met all of the officers, Arthur Maxson will help us build the signal interceptor, so we can at last get to the Institute. Heading outside to the flight deck, we find Maxson waiting for us at the stern of the ship.
Now that you've familiarized yourself with the Prydwen's crew, are you ready for your next assignment, brother?
What sort of assignment are we talking about?
The kind of assignment where all of the training you've done finally begins to pay off.
Just point me to the action.
I applaud your enthusiasm, Knight.
Not yet.
Well, do what you have to do. And get back here on the double.
Yes, Elder.
Good. Let's get right to it then. Shall we? Take a look over there. That's Fort Strong. And it's infested with super mutants. Having those aberrations of nature close enough to smell is making me sick to my stomach. To make matters worse, they're sitting on top of a massive stockpile of Fat Man shells we could use in our campaign. I want you to head over there, wipe out everything that moves, and secure that stockpile. Understood?
Super mutants? I thought the enemy was the Institute.
Super mutants are no better than synths. They're a reminder of man's folly when it comes to harnessing technology. Whether it's using biochemistry to manipulate genes, or trying to create life from a bunch of circuits. It's the wrong path for science. As members of the Brotherhood, it's our sworn duty to exterminate these abominations in every form. So, can I count on you to get the job done?
What do these shells do?
The Fat Man launcher is an essential part of the Brotherhood arsenal. It's a miniature nuclear payload, in a man-portable format. A squad of troops armed with one of these is virtually unstoppable. If you ever have the pleasure of firing one of them, allow me to give you a word of advice. Don't fire one of them in close quarters. There won't be enough of you to bury in a shoebox. That enough to go on?
This seems like a waste of time.
Eager to take the fight to the Institute? Good. Save that for later. Those abominations are playing nursemaid to a huge nuclear arsenal. If we leave Fort Strong unchecked, we have a potential security threat on our hands.
These super mutants are a threat to the security of the airport. We have to deal with them first.
I believe Elder Maxson makes a strong argument, sir. The very idea of a nuclear arsenal in the hands of those beasts is all too frightening.
Consider it done.
Look, I realize you're eager to take the fight to the Institute, but it'll have to wait. The Brotherhood cannot allow those abominations to have a nuclear arsenal at their fingertips.
It'll be a pleasure to exterminate that mutant filth.
Nuclear arsenal? In the hands of those beasts? Heavens, no.
Now, we have a vertibird on standby, fully armed and ready to depart. Use it to carry our message to Fort Strong and wipe those dirty mutants from the face of the earth. Dismissed.
But now, he won't help us with the signal interceptor until we first help him clear Fort Strong of the supermutant threat. We've got to secure that mini-nuke stockpile, but sadly, I'm all out of time. Well, it was a lot easier with the Minutemen. We just had to save a settlement and make some beds, but these Brotherhood guys really are putting us through the ringer. We'll pick up right here where we leave off in my next episode. I publish new Fallout episodes each week on my channel, so if you don't want to miss the next one, be sure to subscribe and to click that bell notification button. If you have already, but you still feel like you're missing out on YouTube notifications, consider following me on Twitter at Oxhorn. I update Twitter manually with every new piece of content that I publish. I've got a shirt shop with completely unique designs that you can't find anywhere else. My designs come on shirts in a variety of men's, women's, and children's sizes, and in a wide array of colors. You can find them on other products as well, like smartphone cases, pillows, posters, mugs, stickers, prints, etc. So if interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. If you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming a patron on Patreon or a member here on YouTube. YouTube members get little badges that appear next to their names in the comment sections of my videos, and access to Ox emojis that they can use in my video comments and in the live chats of my live streams. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with the next episode in the full story of Fallout 4.
Primary target down. Look at that thing